Welcome into 5 Reasons to Bet here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. I'm Ethan Skolnick. You can follow me at 5 Reasons Sports and at Ethan J. Skolnick. Above me, we got our guy who had a really big week. I don't know if it was him or the dogs. Jim Rodriguez. I hear the dogs. Jim Rodriguez, you can follow him at JRod Show. Next to him, Alfredo Arteaga. You can follow him at Alf_Arteaga. Of course, he's the host of 3 Yards Per Carry, which covers the Dolphins and the NFL here on our network. And then our newest picker here, although she's already made me look bad because I'm the only one here who went 0-2 last week. Everybody else went 2-0. Taylor Mathis, you can follow her on Twitter. I'll let you give her the handle since it's got a whole bunch of numbers, and I thought she was a Russian bot at first, but she's not. She's going to be picking with us this week and going forward for Thursday Night Football, sponsored by our friends at Booze Bandage. Also, BetUS, betus.com. Use that code 5. Jim is pointing to it. It's very rude to point. Use the code 5, F-I-V-E, betus.com. Get yourself a bonus. This is the best platform to play on. And definitely go with anybody's picks but mine. All right, here's what we've got. Washington football team still don't have a damn name against the New York Giants. Ryan Fitzpatrick, unfortunately for Dolphin fans, not available to play this week or perhaps into the future. Taylor Henneke is the quarterback. Daniel Jones is the quarterback for the Giants. I'm not sure which of those things is better. We're going to start here with the over-under on the game. Alfredo, it's 40.5. Is that correct?
Yeah, 40.5.
I mean, that's low, right? I mean, typically low. I'm going to let, since Taylor is the newest one here, I'm going to let her sort of weigh in on this. What do you think of it?
Okay, I'm going to take the under on this game because both these teams really don't have very explosive offenses at all. They're really more defensive teams. Giants had the 10th best rush defense last year, and the Washington football team had the second best pass defense last year. I feel like this game's going to come down to one possession, and I feel like it could be off of an interception or forced fumble, so I'm going with the under because they're both defensively sound teams.
It's another way of saying neither of them are any good offensively. Alfredo, to you, 40.5. Again, we talked about the Dolphin number last week being low, and obviously that one came in pretty close. What do you see?
I see that number, and you just can't help but want to go over, right? But here are the numbers. The trend says you have to go under. And when I mean by trend, how about 10-1 unders last 11 games by the Washington football team on grass? And between the two teams, 7-3 unders. Mm-hmm. So it's 7 out of the last 10 under. The Giants as well, after and against the spread loss, the under has come in the following week 9 out of the last 10 times. So I know it's a low number, but the numbers say under.
Jim and the dog?
Well, clearly the dogs, remember, the dogs were 12-4 last week, in week 1. 9 outright wins. So you jumped your cue here, my dog friend. Listen, the under has to play. You know why? Week 2 divisional games since 2005, 59% of the time, the unders come in. And quite frankly, these teams stink. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. And that's going to eat up a lot. I think it's going to be one of those clunky, terrible, awkward scores. 22-18. We're going to sweat it out. But I think we're going to get that under. If it gets any further lower, don't. But 40.5, we're going to suffer. But I think it's going to be under 40.5.
Here's how this works for me. I'm not going to make up any ground on you guys if I pick what you're picking, so I'm not going to. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to go with the fact that these teams do stink, and as a result, defensive touchdown pushes it over the top here. I do not know why the networks keep subjecting us to the NFC East, but they do. And if we're going to watch it, at least I think there'll be a defensive touchdown that turns the tide. You don't need that much to go over 40.5. I mean, 24-17, you're over, right? So I think I can do math. So
you're asking the Giants to score 17 points, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's I fall on a fumble in the end zone. All right, so that's where we're going to go. When we come back, a word from Booze Bandage so you don't get drunk watch, or you do get drunk watching the game Thursday, but you don't get sick. And then when we come back, we'll tell you who's going to win.
faster.
That was my Wynwood experience with our friend Matt Perdomo the other night, except I did not take the bandage with me. And at 3 a.m, it meant 2 Advils. So get yourself the bandage.
It's a hairless portion of your body. Hairless portion. Right? Put it somewhere. Right. Just don't be dirty about it.
Right there. All right. Booze bet. Well, and if you don't have one of those, manscaped.com, we have the same code, 5RSN. Get 20% off, by the way. All right, let's get to it now. The winner of the you're all going under, I'm going over. Let's start here. Winner of the game. The spread is 3 as we speak, I believe, at betus.com. That could move by the time that you hear this. We will start this time with you, Jim. Who do you like?
Listen, the numbers tell us the Giants. Here's why. Daniel Jones has won 8 professional football games in his career. 4 of them have been against the Washington football team. He is 4-0 career against the Washington football team. The Giants have won 5 in a row against the Washington football team. So therefore, I got to go with Washington, right? You got to do it, right? Listen, their defense is just better. They've got a better head coach. I'm going to go with Riverboat Ron. But listen, here's my caveat. It's at 3 right now. Washington's laying 3. I wouldn't go much more. 3.5, okay. If it gets up to 4 or any higher, then I'm going to go with the Giants. But at 3, I think I go Washington. Again, 22-18, real clunky, real ugly game, NFC East kind of style. Sorry, my intrepid dog prognosticator. The Dogs went 12-4 in week 1. It's not going to happen in week 2.
All right, Alfredo, you're next.
Yeah, I like the number where it is right now. I don't like it any higher. Washington football team, they're starting Taylor Heinicke. Taylor Heinicke is a fun guy to watch. I don't know if you saw him last year in the playoffs against Tampa Bay, the eventual champion. He threw for over 300 yards, had them in that game. Maybe there's something there. Ryan Fitzpatrick, we know, is volatile. Taylor Heinicke will not be volatile. It'll be boring, but I think they win. They win a close one. I will give those 3 points.
All right, so you're giving the 3 points. You're going the other way. Break the tie for now here, Taylor.
All right, I'm going to take the Giants on this one too, I think. I feel like the difference maker for them is going to be Logan Ryan. He had 10 tackles last week and a forced fumble. I feel like if he does that same thing again, he's also had 2 interceptions career-wise against Washington. And like you said, they're 5-0 in their last 5 meetups. So I'm going to go with the Giants on this one at 3 points.
I'm also going to go with the Giants. I apologize for that, Taylor, for siding with you this time. I just, I'm
all
with
alone.
Jim.
You've been mushed, Taylor. You've been mushed. Ethan's on your side.
I'm with this on you. I'm with you on this though, Rodriguez. I'm looking at his success against one team. There are just certain quarterbacks that play well against one team. Maybe it's a style of play. Maybe it's a confidence in the building. Whatever it is, we've seen this over the years. It is a trend I think that holds up. I do think this is going to be a horrible football game to watch, but I think ultimately the Giants win it. And again, I think they'll go over slightly, something around the range of 24-20, but I think that's where we're at. All right, so we'll record the picks. We're going to do this every Thursday. Make sure you bet them at betus.com using the code 5. Taylor, thanks for joining us here for the first time. Alfredo, Jim, we'll do this every week. Follow us. Get your booze bandages. Advil's expensive. You're better off with the booze bandages. 5 RSN. Talk to you next week.